Well, folks, we're going to make us an apple pie. I have these apples that I did not want to go to waste. So I'm going to proceed to cut my apples up. Find me a knife that I want to cut with. And these have already been washed, so I'm not worried about that. It's been a while since I've had apple pie that I've made. Quite a while. Just going to core them and peel them. And you need about 6 cups thinly sliced pared apples. Now, I don't know if I'm going to make 6 cups of it or not. Let me get my sugar in this. Because I'll have to measure my cups. If it doesn't make 6 cups, then I'll just have to use a little bit less in my filling. They got to be thinly sliced. Put the big bowl here to put my apples in when I measure them. Oops. Went a piece in the floor. And I just mopped my floor this morning. Already got an apple in the floor. Get a knife that's easier to cut these things in half with. Yeah, that's a lot better. The other one is good for peeling and getting the core out, but this will hold it in my hand better. I know some people can use the big one to do that, but not me. I would cut my hand for sure. I'm trying to peel these so I don't take all the apple away. These are kind of small apples, but I bought one big one to go with them, hoping that'll be enough. That's one. Oh, and I meant to preheat my oven. Get my little frying pan out of there. $425 is what you need to heat your oven to. I'd already cut that and I didn't. Oh, I can't wait for this apple pie. I love apple pie, and I just never bake them. I mean, I really don't usually bake pies at all because I'm here by myself. But I had these apples. And I wanted to do something with them, and so I figured, well, apple pie sounds real good. And who doesn't like a good apple pie? That's two. I'll have some good apple peelings to go in the compost. But this is all there is to getting your apples ready. Just slice them as thin as you possibly can. Well, I mean, they don't have to be paper thin, but you know what I'm saying. Slice them thin so they will cook. You slice them thin, they don't take so long to cook, and your pie will be cooked when your crust is done. Or it'll be done in the length of time it says to cook it. And I've already got my pie crust made. I showed you how to do that in one of my other videos. If you use the green apples, which are a little bit more tart than the red apples or the granny apples or any of these others, you have to just put a little bit of extra sugar in it, but you can use basically any kind of apple. There's 3. Probably a good thing I bought the other apple, because I think it's going to take the other apple too. But it usually takes 6 medium, I guess, apples to get about 6 cups. I'm sorry. I judged it just right, because it's going to take this other apple to give me the rest of what I'm going to need. And these are good apples. I've eaten one already. It's really good. So I know it's going to make a good apple pie. Yeah, I'm just going to, well, put them up in here just to see. That was part of that one. But I think that's going to be exactly right with this big apple. So you'd probably need we'll just get 6 medium-sized apples and it should work. You see, that half an apple made a cup. It's not packed down in there real good, but it made another cup. And you notice I'm not cutting it the long way, I'm cutting it the other way because it made the pieces way big. Well, I got a bowl full of peelings and cores. So, there you have it. I don't think we need this anymore. But tablespoons. All you need to do is put 3/4 cup sugar, and I already had it measured out, in with my apples. We need a 1/4 cup all-purpose flour. Where's my flour? I got it over here where I had my pie. My pie shell. And remember, this is a half of a cup. So I'm putting half of that in there, which would be a 1/4 cup of flour. Half a teaspoon of nutmeg. It's just plain old ground nutmeg. And cinnamon. A half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, we're just going to mix this up with my apples. My uncooked apples. I hope my pan is big enough. just mix it up good so you get all that cinnamon and nutmeg mixed up in there. You get all the flour mixed up with your apple. And it'll start making its own liquid when you get it mixed up good. Had to taste it. Now I'm going to come over here because I've already got my, like I said, I've got my pie crust made. Bring my butter over here. Because we're going to need our butter. All I'm going to do is just pour it right in my pie pan that I already had made. And this is a 2-crust pie. You always want a 2-crust pie with your apple pie. And then just kind of distribute it all over your pan, because you put it in there, it's going to be all piled up. So just kind of spread it out a little. That was perfect for this pan. This is a 9-inch pan, by the way. I have 2 of these. One is an 8-inch, one is a 9-inch. And there you go with that. It's just that easy, y'all. Now we're going to use about 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm not even going to measure it. I'm going to guess at it. And just dot the top with some butter. That's about 2 tablespoons. I think it's time to get me a new dishcloth. Okay, now what we're going to do is take our second pie crust and just fold it in quarters. It's a lot easier to work with. Place the point right in the middle of your pie. And then just unfold it. It's going to be a little big, but you want that. You're going to take the top of it. You might want to zoom in and fold it over underneath your pie crust that's to the edge of your pan. I don't know if you can see that, but just fold it underneath the piece of pie crust that's to the edge of your plate. And that's going to help the pie from oozing out of your pie crust. I mean, some of it may even, do that anyway, but just lift it up, put the top pie crust underneath, turn it, and go all the way around your pie crust that way. Now, it's not turning out exactly the way I want. I'm just trying to crimp my edges. I can't talk, y'all. No, I'm not doing a very good job of crimping it, but I'm putting holes in it. And I don't want to do that, but just crimp it up a little bit. My mom used to be real good at this. But you can tell I'm not the experienced pie maker she was. I'm going to go all the way around it and just kind of push it together on the edge of the pie dish. Then I can come back around and had a gnat flying around. Now you don't have to do this. You can make any kind of edge you want. I was just going to try to make the little points. might have to work with a little bit. Here, I think that's good enough. Where's my knife? I gotta get my knife. Now I'm just gonna make little slits in my pie. You can make any kind of design there that you want. That's up to you. I'm just doing this just for the heck of it. Now we need aluminum foil, and I forgot to get it out a while ago. Let's see if I can find it without everything falling out of the cabinet. There it is. Now what we want to do is take our aluminum foil, take some little strips of it, just kind of go around the edge of your pie and cover the edges up. And that's just to keep your little corners or your edges of your pie from burning. And as always, I put my pie on a cookie sheet or some kind of a pan to keep it from boiling over or oozing out. You know how pies can do. That's good, and we should be cooking this for $40 to 50 minutes. And the last 15 minutes that you're baking it, take your aluminum foil off. So we're going to get this in the oven. Ooh, that's hot. And we're going to cook it remember, we're cooking it for like 40 to 50 minutes at 425. The last 15 minutes of cook time, take your aluminum foil off the edges of your pie and let the whole thing brown. And in about 50 minutes, your pie's done, and it should be nice and brown, and all the pie or all the apples inside will be cooked. And I'll bring you back and show you the finished product. Well, I'm back. It's time to check out my pie here and get my foil off of it. And as you'll notice, I get you a closer look of it. As you can notice, I ended up putting in 3 sweet potatoes. Don't that look good, y'all? Yeah, I had some potatoes, so I washed my sweet potatoes and I wrapped them up in foil and put them in there with my pie to make good use of heating up the oven. So now, isn't that pie looking good? We're going to put it back in there and we're going to brown it. It's going to stay in there for probably another 15 or 20 minutes. And then our pie should be done. Well, y'all, I think my pie's been in there long enough. All the apple is starting to bubble up out of the top, so that means my pie is done. But I need to get my pie out. There. And I'm going to put my potatoes, my sweet potatoes back in because they're not done yet. My squash I picked the other day. But look here. Doesn't that pie look good? Just brown enough, and all that apple just bubbling up out of the top. That's going to be good, y'all. I got to let it cool before I can cut it. It's just way too hot to cut right now. But make yourself an apple pie. I'm going to enjoy this. Make yourself an apple pie. Try it. You'll like it. And I will see you on my next one. Bye now.